I don't think college is a scam.
Can we agree
Oh
on
yeah,
what a scam is?
can you give me a definition first? Because you're the
How
one making the
about-
claim.
How about if 40% of your customers don't get the product?
Sure.
Is that a scam?
Well, I mean, it kind of depends on like what your promise was when you gave the product in the first place, right?
Okay, so how about if you go to Chili's and 40% of your customers get food poisoning?
I kind of reject your equivalency here because you're saying that there's an actual necessary like return on what you're asking for when college in and of itself doesn't necessarily say that you're going to get this.
So what is the national graduation rate?
I mean, you tell me.
59%. How many
Okay.
of you know someone that dropped out of college? Everyone hand goes up. Yes.
That's me.
41% of kids that go to college do not drop out.
Yeah.
What percentage of kids that graduate college get jobs that do not require a college degree 10 years after graduating?
I'm not sure.
Over half.
Okay.
According to statistics, half of graduates from this university will end up getting jobs of which they never had to go to college in the first place. They never had to get the piece of paper. They never had to go into debt, and they never had to spend 4 years here. If you went to United Airlines, if you went to a bank and 10, 20, 30% of their promises were a lot different, or what they deliver were different than the promises of what they say, we would shut them down as a scam and saying they're lying to their customers. In fact, we do this all the time. We do this to websites that say, hey, take this pill and this supplement, and you're going to be XYZ stronger, or you're going to lose all this weight. We shut down industries all the time for misleading their customers.
I guess like what you're making this claim off of is that like college makes a promise, right? That you are going to be able to use your certificate that you get from the school in your future job, right?
The expectation of borrowing hundreds of thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, is I'm betting on myself to enrich my future. That's the whole idea why they're here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not as if you walk around, you're like, well, it's a risk. You know, here at college, take, North African lesbian poetry and spend all this time here, learning why men can give birth. No, the idea is that I'm going to suck it up and go through these classes of the 4 most important years of my life where I have energy and I have passion, and then I'll be able to go get a great job. Many of you are forced to take classes that are a waste of time that you do not want to have to take. Every hand goes up. So how is
Sure.
that not a scam? So they're being forced to
Well,
take
I mean-
classes they don't want to take, that if they had other choices. So
But here, hold on. Let's ask the audience again. Out of those classes that you didn't want to take, do you think that you learned anything useful at all? Even one thing? You learned nothing useful. Hold on. You guys learned nothing useful from even a class that you didn't like. Come on. Really?
But hold on, so maybe you might have learned something to your point.
Yeah.
Could you have learned that from watching YouTube videos or reading books
You
or
could
not
have.
having to go tens of thousands of dollars into debt?
You definitely might have, but listen, you can take someone who is self-taught, right, has like their own credentials, and I'm sure you would interview them, right? You have 100 applicants, right? You're telling me you wouldn't screen on someone who probably, I don't know, like went to Harvard for like accounting, you know what I'm saying?
If you go to Harvard, I
Come on.
immediately think you're an intellectual idiot.